Alright, for the longest time I've been promising this video, so this is a behind the scenes look of what goes on into making a video if you're me. So as you can see, I work with a 2-monitor setup. One monitor is the main focus here where I do all my main stuff pretty much, like I said. So this is where everything comes up, this is the gameplay, this is a 24-inch monitor, so for the most part everything comes out looking pretty freaking sweet. And of course, off to a side, I have a 17-inch monitor, which you may not be able to see very well, but it serves as a place for any scripts if I might need it. It holds basically all my document files for when I upload files. Basically, any tags, any video descriptions, it's best just to keep them all saved as one. So that's pretty much what this is. There's all my video files on that desktop over there. It's all my descriptions saved in document form. So I wish I could show you the computer now that the cat has left. That's the one thing. If you have pets, be prepared for very annoying hijinks. So the computer, which you will not be able to get a very good look at, but we do have some more light right down there. This is run by Intel i7, the 3rd generation. I think it's a 3770, so it's pretty freaking powerful for what it is. So that's a live streaming processor right there. So if I can at least zoom in a little bit anyway. So this computer, for the most part, in a whole, isn't that old. I think the oldest part might actually be the media drive. Even the CD burner's not that old. Maybe the video card's a year, somewhere around a year or two. Other than that, everything else is fairly new, and I just ordered more memory. So hopefully that'll make video processing a lot easier. It'll make playing games a lot easier. Currently I'm running with 8 right about now, and that's not very optimum whatsoever. So as a birthday gift, I got a gift card, and I just went ahead and ordered 32 megs to max out my motherboard. At least on memory. And we go back to the pet thing real quick. Yeah, she's going to do funny things and become very annoying. Why? Because that's what pets do. And there goes more of the light. Some of you may find it very hard to see because of the monitor, but the microphone I'm currently using right here is a Samsung C10U. Now you can get this thing pretty cheap by itself, or you can get it by the metallic case. I believe the microphone by itself is what, like $80 or $90? If you get it in a case with the shock mount and everything else, which I did, I think I actually got it on sale for $70, but it retails like around $130. But it really is a great microphone, and I've really enjoyed using it. The problem with some of these microphones, though, is that it takes a little bit of adjusting. So for what it is, it took me some time to go ahead and readjust it. So after a while, I finally got the position I like. This is how I keep it. This is my Rode Studio arm that I actually keep clipped to my desk, or at least an extension to my desk over there. And that allows me to swivel it around, move it up and down, kind of put it in any direction I really need it in. But right now, this is the general consensus of what you'll normally find it in if you were to walk in and see me record. So for the most part, this is it. Now the sad part about this room is I have no door. So my prime recording time is basically when the house is empty. And since I work 3rd shift, that's not as hard as it might sound. But sometimes it comes a complication of schedules. So if I fall asleep, then it ruins everything. My recording falls behind. So I hate doing the 3rd shift, but it is what it is. It's a job. So I gotta stick with it. But this is the microphone setup. This is the arm for the actual mic. And I guess if you want to combine them all together, this probably cost what? The arm was $100. It was like $99. The mic and the case of everything, it was probably, well, with the sale, it was probably about $200. But if it wasn't on sale, it'd be around, what, $230, $240? Somewhere in there. So for the most part, I'm pleased with the purchase. The headsets, I just use standard USB headsets. It's actually a microphone in there, but I just mute the microphone so that way it doesn't override the main one. I mean, you can pick them up pretty cheap depending upon what you want. I mean, it's headset. You really don't need to speak with it. You just need to listen. That way you won't get the sound from the speaker, and then you get to double the feedback. So for the most part, it's not overly complicated. It's just a matter of being able to save up some money and afford it. Now, of course, I would love to get upgrades to this stuff, but we're talking maybe, what, $300 for a microphone? Now, this is stuff that's recommended by Jesse Cox and all them, too, and these guys are professional, so I am far away from professional right now. But I hope to be there one day. Of course, I continue to use my Razer Nancy and my Razer Naga, my two great Razer products, which I still love to this day. The Razer Nancy review still just rocks a lot amount of views. I don't know how to explain it, but it just is. I think it's like around 1,000 views a month, so it's still like the toppest video I've ever made. Pretty sweet indeed. So for the most part, this is the out view of it. The one thing you can't see because it's behind that 17-inch monitor is an external hard drive, and I use that for storage. I have all my video clips sent over there to be processed and whatnot. So if you do want to record videos, you want to have multiple hard drives. Inside the computer I have two. One, a solid state drive to hold my system files. 1 terabyte file to basically hold all my games and such. Actually, I have a third one, and the third one's actually used for backup. So yeah, the one external is used for recording and such. Some people will tell you don't use an external for recording, but because I'm using USB 3, it's not that bad. So if you do go external for recording, make sure you use USB 3. Don't go 2. If you're going to go 2, then you might as well go internal. No doubt about it. Alright, well here we have Cyberlink Powerdirector 11. This is the latest version for Cyberlink in their Powerdirector series. This is the software I use to put all the videos together. So if I can actually go ahead and open a project real quick to give you a behind the scenes look. Doesn't look like I actually have one. So let me see if I can't get some clips for you to show you real quick. Okay, there's my external hard drive. And here's some clips I've gotten from some other stuff, plus the one recording right now. So let me just take a quick few clips here. As you can see, this is where they all come in. I'll go ahead, drag and drop. I'll bring them down to whatever scenes I need. And as you can see, this is how it all comes out to be laid. I can easily go down to transitions. I can put in transitions wherever I feel they're appropriate. If there's parts that I don't like, or if I don't feel really work, I can just basically go in, hit split, go to the other part, hit split, and then I could do whatever. I could either delete this piece, I could speed it up, I could do whatever. So it gives me the freedom and creativity to do that as much. Now the one thing I really like with Powerdirector that I don't get with Adobe or some of the other ones is batch producing. So I can like record 10 videos, save them all as projects, and then when I'm done, I can actually batch produce them all at the same time. Now granted, that thing is going to take about at least 6 hours to do, but if I'm going on vacation or something, if I got something really big and I'm not going to be around a computer, I could do that, come back and then upload all the videos to YouTube and put them on a schedule, and then forget it. I can go to my event, everything will be planned, it's scheduled out, and it works really freaking good. So, yeah, that's the one thing. Now, I'm sure maybe in, like, more expensive versions of Adobe, probably like the $600 or $1,000 or whatever, they may have batch produce or batch render. I really don't know. I never got a chance to use something like that. I do have the cheaper version, the Elements. And where is Elements? That is Premiere Elements. Here we go. I paid, what? I think $75 off of Amazon.com for it, the digital download. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good. I mean, it's really on par with Powerdirector 11, but I mean, you're pretty much paying for the same thing. It's Adobe Premiere watered down to match Powerdirector. So it's really up to you. If you want to go name brand, you could get Premiere Elements, or if you really got the money, just go with Premiere. Get the good stuff. So yeah, that was, here we go, my book. This is my E drive, which is the external hard drive. It's like a backup drive or whatever. I didn't fool with any of this stuff. I just left it. I made a folder, and here's all the files to where everything goes. Pretty good stuff. Here's my D drive. It holds all my games and such. I actually have a little YouTube folder. And then in that folder I have like all my stuff. Any stuff I might have, like creating t-shirt logos or whatever. The watermark, the logo, title screens for streaming. As you can see, here's the video for the buy splash screen, which I always use, or I switch up sometimes. Of course, movies, which are already done. As you can see, Tropicraft is already done right here. Music files, I've only got a couple, but I actually have more scattered throughout. I got to really get that tightened up. Podcast, that was my last podcast, or one of my podcasts. I really got to get more up soon. My little title splash screens, or you see these little thumbnails. I have a folder for all that. So I have it all underneath a YouTube folder, which makes it more organized and easier for me to handle. The piece of software I actually use for recording is Fraps. This is a full version of Fraps. Okay, I thought I might have actually knocked it off real quick. So this is a full version of Fraps. As you can see, it's already registered to me, single user license. I'm using a Monitor Aero desktop, so I can actually record the desktop. And of course, you can go through and change your settings and whatnot. But this is the full version. This is pretty much the only way to go if you really want to use recording software, if you're doing YouTube. So that is a thing. What do I have down here? I've got something I think... I hate having my trash can with stuff. Get out of here. So that's pretty much it for the desktop part. As you can see, I have all my games scattered up here. I've got stuff everywhere. I've got two desktops to monitor. The one on a smaller screen, though, is easier because that's just all my templated stuff, basically. Everyone... Well, a lot of people ask me, basically, at times, how'd you do it? Your date joint says that you've joined way back in 2009. Why did you start doing videos? Well, I started out doing them back in June of 2011. I started doing them as a favor. I don't want to say a favor, but I started doing them so I could help people. Some friends, some guild mates, and whatnot. I really started making these little tutorials on World of Warcraft. Basically how class played and everything and all that good stuff. Your rotations and whatnot. And for the most part, they were private. Some people eventually picked up on them and they were like, hey, why don't you just make them public? Why don't you make more of them? Some people would really appreciate it. So I did for a while. I made a little weekly series. It was called... Oh, heck, what was it called? I can't even remember offhand. But it was called... Oh, Say What. It was called Say What. It was a weekly series. I featured a class and whatnot. And it was successful, mildly. But still, people enjoyed it. Now, that was pretty cool. But after a while, I think by the fall, the work had gotten the best of me. A lot of things were going on, and... It was just a rough turmoil period, so I stopped doing videos. I didn't pick it up again, actually, until March 2012 of last year. Actually, last year, now that we're in 13. But it was March 12 that I actually picked it back up again. And I just really, really started pushing again. I started doing videos every day. I was like, you know what? I'm going to stick with this. It's fun. I mean, I did it when I was a kid. Back when I was, what, 7, 8, 9, whatever. I don't even remember offhand. I used to play SNES, Super Nintendo. I played football games. Well, back then, they didn't have the play-by-play. You just had the little words on a screen. Well, me being the person that I am, I used to always like taking a little cassette, I put it in a tape deck, and I just record. I record my own gameplay with my own commentary. And I don't believe I have those cassettes anymore. It would be cool if I did. I would love to listen to myself. But I don't have them anymore, and I just recorded myself. It was the first time that I actually did commentary. And here I was as a young kid. And some people found out about it, and they thought it was pretty cool. My uncle actually said I should have went into broadcasting. And I wish I could have, but quite frankly, I don't know if I'm really all into that much of the traveling aspect. But still, it was something that I enjoyed back then. Which leads me to this, well, last year, 2012. I started doing this, and I was like, you know what? There's a lot of people out there that do this. Some of them become really successful, and some of them not so much. But for me, this was a hobby when I was a kid. So if they're doing it, why can't I do it? So that's when I went ahead and started doing it. And I believe it was around that time was the first time I tried Minecraft. Watching Total Biscuit and a few of the other popular guys, they weren't really into Minecraft. So of course I wasn't giving it a chance too, but then I can't really remember who it was, but somebody was like, why don't you just try Minecraft? You might really like it. So the first time I tried it, I actually got Fraps out. I purchased Fraps and just started recording right then and there. I think I called a sheep a bear or something like that. I said something really wild, and people were like, "What are you doing? No, that's not a bear. That's a pig or a sheep or whatever." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I don't know. This is my first time in Minecraft." So it was a learning experience, but a lot of people really caught on to it. Some people didn't so much. I mean, I've got some emails that were like, "Your voice is really horrible. You're a terrible person. You shouldn't be doing this." And some people were like, "You're kind of funny. So just keep up the good work." And I've gotten some messages from some bigger channels that were like, "Yeah, you're not bad. You're pretty enjoyable. Just keep it up, bro." So I'm like, okay. So each day it has its ups and downs, but for the most part, doing the commentary part is the part I enjoy the most. I don't even know why. I'm not a very outgoing person. I'm very introvert, I guess you could say. But it's just something about this that I just find really enjoyable. I just really enjoy doing this stuff. Alright, so that's pretty much it for our behind the scenes video. As you can see, our little guest has returned. Affectionate little bugger. And this is also what makes doing videos a little bit interesting when you get these little interruptions. Sometimes they're cute, others not so much. But if you have any questions, please feel free to send them over to me. You can send them on this channel, you can send them to powergrazi@gmail.com, whatever you feel. But it's a pleasure to make videos. I hope to continue to keep doing it. And who knows how long it'll go on for. I'm just going to keep doing it till I can't do it no more. Simple as that. So I hope you have a wonderful day. And if not, then just simply fake it. It'll be over before you know it. And I'll see you again next time.
Have a wonderful day. And if not, then just simply fake it.